I have to say again, not only thank you for your partnership, but your leadership in this incredible time. I've heard from people all over the country that they feel that Illinois is in good hands because of your leadership. So thank you very much. As the governor just announced, he is issuing a stay-at-home order. And I hope you think of it that way. This was clearly not a decision that was made lightly, nor by any one person. And I echo the governor's statement. These are not our only difficult choices to be made, but they are choices that must be made for the good of all of our residents. The governor, local leaders, and I are in full agreement that we need to act swiftly, and then this decision is necessary. As the governor alluded to, we have seen what bold measures have yielded in places like Japan and Singapore and South Korea. And sadly, we are witnessing what is not happening around the world in countries that did not mobilize. The coronavirus will not go away by happenstance. We must be intentional about taking steps to flatten the curve. Today's announcement, along with other steps taken in the last 2 weeks, are intended to do just that. We can only save lives and blunt the spread of this virus by keeping as many people as practical at home and safe. And I want to talk specifically about what this will mean for Chicago. Our city, in the absence of leadership from the federal government, frankly, is doing the following: finalizing, securing quarantine and isolation locations, bolstering hospital capacity, supporting our healthcare workers and first responders, and doing everything possible to relieve the pressure on them, and building a supply chain to make sure that critical equipment to the healthcare system, things like ventilators, PPEs, and other important supplies, are available and given to areas of need. We will continue to identify residents who are sick and ensure they receive the treatment and resources they so rightfully deserve, and put them on a path to recovery, as has happened already with many. Our healthcare workers have been at the forefront of this pandemic. They are working around the clock and putting their own health on the line to keep those who need it most. That means we as a city must do everything we can to help them. Now is not the time for half measures, but preventative and proactive plans, ones rooted in science and data, and to mitigate the spread and ultimately to save lives. And let's be clear, this has to be a two-way street. While the responsibility of our government is to build a plan, your personal responsibility is to take all necessary precautions to keep yourself safe and formally include in order to stay at home. I know we are asking a lot of residents and to make enormous sacrifices. I also understand that these times can be causing anxiety. And again, think of this as safer at home. But here's the reality. We've issued common sense public health guidance. This announcement today is the next step in that progression. So many Chicagoans have already heeded our calls to stay home and are practicing social distancing. For those residents, today's announcement won't drastically change the day-to-day changes you've already taken. But while many have listened, some have not. And it's clear that the time is now for us to be very definitive in telling people that you must stay home. The governor already explained what this order is and what it requires from each of us. And I want to say and be clear, this is not a lockdown or martial law. As the governor said, and I want to reiterate, Chicago's grocery stores, pharmacies, and clinics will remain open. And there's absolutely no need to change your normal purchasing patterns. What I mean is, do not take this direction as a reason to run to the stores, buy everything in sight, and hoard vital supplies. Please, the grocery stores will remain open and stock, so be mindful of your neighbors and do not hoard supplies. Hospitals will continue to treat patients. The city's essential services will not cease. The CTA will run. Airports will be open, and your garbage will be collected. And yes, you can still go outside for a walk, but practice social distancing. Remember, this is the new normal for now. I think and I hope people recognize and understand that these decisions are being made for the long-term health of everybody, everywhere in our entire state. And let me remind you that some helpful resources that you can access to stay informed during this crisis. For Chicago, the best and most up-to-date information is the public health website, chicago.gov/coronavirus. And if you'd like to get text alerts, text COVID-19, that's COVID 19, to 78015. That's COVID-19 to 78015. And every day at 11 a.m., Monday through Sunday, Dr. Already's daily conversation session is being held. The doctor is in, and it is carried on Facebook Live. I also want to announce that in light of this order, we will be closing fully Chicago parks and libraries for the duration of this order. Some of these facilities may be repurposed to help support some other essential services by third parties, but effective tomorrow at 5 p.m., all city parks and libraries will be closed. This is a make-or-break moment for our city and our state. Never in our lifetime has our own health been so intertwined with the health of every single person with whom we interact. Neighbors, coworkers, loved ones, frontline workers, please realize your responsibility to them and continue to take care of yourself. Now, as I said recently, while this is a period of physical isolation, we should remain in contact with our families, friends, and neighbors. Please call and check in with seniors, people who are vulnerable. We have disrupted normal social networks and interactions, but it is critically important that we not lose our sense of community. This is not a time for every man for himself. This is a time for every man, woman, and child to be united together. The choices we make today can renew and restore health and prosperity in Chicago and throughout Illinois. It is time to do more to flatten the curve and build our pathway to the other side. I have faith in Chicago's resolve and resiliency to help us get there. Thank you very much. Governor?